As I went out this evening to go to campus at Ohio State, it just poured, it just drenched.
Tropical
and
moisture.
That was gone.
Yeah, this was part of an old Pacific hurricane. Texas got 10 inches of rain from the storm. As we mentioned last night, it would just come straight up in about 12 hours, right up the chute.
Now we were really behind for the year. Have we about caught up now?
Well, believe it or not, we have. We're still 3.5 inches below normal.
3.5.
Really? With 5 inches of rain since September 1st. But we don't have to make it all up at once. It's not like our bank account. We don't have to balance out.
This is supposed to be the pretty sunny month, though.
Let's make
it up some other time.
You know what, though? The silver lining is we're going to have a much better fall foliage season because of this rain.
All right.
That's the good news. We want to show you the clouds that we had earlier this evening, and these are fantastic. Brian O'Malley and Pickerington caught this spectacular formation as rain approached from the southwest around 6. And we were actually looking at this same cell on Tower Cam during the news, and Live Titan gave us that lead time predicting a hard downpour over the city between 6:30 and 7. And then a lot of you emailed me about this cloud on the northwest side. From a distance, it could look like a funnel cloud, but it actually is a tail cloud, a corridor of very humid air being drawn up into the storm. But the key is it's non-rotating. But when it's tilted down a little bit, you could see, Colleen and Cabot, that could be confused from the horizon as a funnel cloud. But again, not rotating. Impressive shots. All right, Live Titan showing those showers have moved east of Interstate 77. There is the band or cluster of heavy rain that got together and brought a lot of rain on us for a short time during the dinner hours expected. That's moving off to the east. Now, the problem is we have all this tropical moisture starting to clear and starting to cool, and that will leave us with a thick blanket of fog that has already formed. And it's going to be down to a quarter-mile visibility in many areas. Be really careful out tonight. And for the opening hours early on your Wednesday morning, it's going to take a while to burn that fog off. 62 at noon, then we'll get peaks of sun. A brighter finish later in the day, about 68. Check out Lancaster. Visibility, 0. Mount Vernon, 0. So the 2 to 4 mile visibilities are going to come down as well as we cool and condense, and of course fog is just a cloud on the ground. Look at this big spiral cloud pattern. This is that tropical system, or at least subtropical, that came up through Kentucky into southern Ohio late this afternoon. Fortunately, no severe weather, but enough heating to spark some strong storms late in the day as expected. And then there's this cold front. There's some pink here in Montana. That's snow. So this will be a sharp change in weather come later in the weekend. Maybe northeast Ohio will see their first flurries as well. 64 degrees, the air calm, 4/10 of an inch of rain. Again, as Cabot and Colleen mentioned, we're easing that drought slowly but surely. Again, we don't have to erase the entire deficit right away, but we've made some inroads this month. 61 at Delaware, 66 at Newark. Again, there's a cold front through, but it was around 80 this afternoon to the east of I-71 while it was in the 60s north and west. The impetus for storms. And look at the jet stream. It's going to change drastically. It brought up this Gulf storm, and then by the weekend, a big dip in the jet, and some unseasonably cold air will be dropping down from the northwest and settle in not just for the weekend, but for the first half of next week. And it's really going to be chilly. All right, let's look at the pinpoint forecast and walk you through it, because we do have showers around that have moved off to the east. Maybe some dense fog here, but every time you see a break here, that's going to allow fog to form. So we're going to be socked in tomorrow morning. We'll see the fog start to mix out midday as the air dries out and warms up a little bit into the upper 60s. And then things are going to be fairly quiet. A weak area of high pressure builds in. Yeah, a little disturbance with some patchy clouds Thursday, but no moisture. And then we'll clear up. But there's the cold front for football Friday night. That could bring us a shower for the high school games. Overnight tonight, 58. Patchy dense fog, kind of cool and clammy. And again, I can't stress how low visibilities will be later on tonight, tomorrow morning. Allow some extra time. If there are any delays, we'll have them on the NBC4 Today show because the fog will probably be thick in rural areas. But it'll burn off, assorted clouds, 68 degrees. Extended forecast, well, gorgeous weather once we get through the fog tomorrow morning. Thursday, 73. Friday, 68 with a few showers, not a washout, Jared, for football Friday night, but a chilly rain for game day Saturday. Hopefully wrapping up. Fortunately, it's a night game in the shoe against Nebraska. We'll be dropping into the 40s. We'll be wearing jackets, if not parkas, and very chilly weather to start next week. Cabot, Colleen, and Jared.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Jared is in. He has got a look at our sports.
Ben back with us now with a look at the storm headed our way and this trend, this pattern that we seem to be getting into, unfortunately.
Colleen, this won't be last winter. I think we're assured of that because we may, by New Year's Eve, have more snow this month than we had all of last winter. It's all about climate cycles.
I missed last winter.
Feedback. I know you do, and we will too, I think, after the next few days. But it'll also be getting frigid next week, and as Now, 65% of the country's covered by snow. Last winter, less than half. So that pushes the snow cover and the storm track farther south with each successive storm, and that means better chances for snow. Sears Heating and Cooling Skycam. All is quiet now. Visibility is still pretty good. And then you look at Live Titan, you can see that we're starting to see light snow, most of it not reaching the ground, coming into central Ohio. And as you go west of I-75 on Live Titan, you'll actually be able to see the banding of the snow starting to push in from the west. That's where the heavier snow is, which I've circled between Indianapolis and St. Louis. But this storm is different from our post-Christmas storm. It's faster moving, not as dynamic. We won't have the sleet and freezing rain. We will have a period of moderate snow, mostly during the middle of the night. Winter storm warning south of I-70. That's where we expect about 4 inches. Winter weather advisory for the rest of central Ohio. It'll be slippery in the morning with several fresh inches of snow, 27 at 8. Gray and brisk at noon, but the snow is gone, 29. And even some breaks of sun later in the afternoon to resume shopping and your outdoor activities and plans. And for youngsters, that'll be, I think, skiing and sledding, and the rest of us shoveling. Steady snow will be between 2 and 8 in the morning. It will be a fluffy snow, not a heavy, wet snow. Most areas will wake up to about 2 to 4 inches, but again, roads will be rather slippery. 30 degrees, feels like 25. Not much of a wind chill, and we won't have the winds we had last time. High and low today, 34 and 24. And if you look up to the north, we're in the mid-20s, but unlike the last storm, it's already at or below freezing even in southern Ohio. I think the only sleet and freezing rain will be over southern sections of Jackson and Athens counties. And you guys who missed the snow the other day will get it this time around, including places like Fairfield and Pickaway County. All right, the pinpoint forecast, let's time this out. The model starts to bring in the steadier snow, as I mentioned, around 2 in the morning, where you see the dark blue. The mix this time confined to mostly the Ohio River counties. And then as we get into the 7 a.m. time frame, the heavier snow bands have actually pushed off to the east, but we still have a lot of light snow. But it doesn't last long. I said it's a quick moving storm, and the snow will pulse eastward, so we should be breaking out of the snow by 9 or 10 in the morning, so that will limit accumulations. And then we'll just see a few snow showers, primarily lake effect, during the overnight hours Saturday night into Sunday, and then some breaks in the overcast and a little bit of sun to wrap up the weekend. I know a lot of folks will be traveling again later this weekend. So I'm expecting 3 to 4 inches of snow across central Ohio, a little less to the north, noticeably less up by Toledo, away from the storm track, and in the far southeast, maybe a mix to an inch, again, because of that mixed or south of Athens. So low 20s tonight for Marion to upper 20s at Chillicothe. Snow has arrived to our west. It will be heavier late tonight. Generally 3 to 4 inches, might be a few 5-inch totals south of I-70. 31 for your high on Saturday. Snow should wrap up by 10 in the morning. And then calling the rest of the weekend for travel once the roads are cleared later in the day without the winds and drifting snow we had last time. Should be pretty good for late Saturday, Sunday, but more snow New Year's Eve and gets colder for next week.
All right.
Different from last year.
Yes, much different.
Slightly.
Thanks a lot, Ben. And we thank you for being with us tonight. Be sure to stick around because Friday Night Live is coming up next.